The Minister-led Free National Movement government overwhelmingly defeated the Christie administration, unceremoniously unseating the Prime Minister and winning one of the largest margins in the country's political history. But now, according to Free National Movement Chairman Sidney Colley, the real work begins. He discussed a number of national issues with our Janaea Ferguson.
F.N.M Party Chairman Sidney Colley says the swearing in of government ministers under a new Free National Movement regime signals the beginning of a new era for the Bahamas. He said the party's landslide win at the polls last week, securing 35 of the 39 seats, and also the unprecedented seating of a prime minister was a clear indication that the country was ready for change. Colley discussed the party's win, noting that the minister-led administration was ready to govern from day one.
By the beginning of this year, we were absolutely certain that we were going to win. And if we did the things we were advised to do, and which we did, we were going to win. We had no idea it would be such an overwhelming win, but it goes to show that our team, our plan, our over 4,000 volunteers, and our absolute commitment to our message worked.
And while plans to govern continue, Colley admitted that the F.N.M's large margin win was surprising. He, however, laid the loss of the PLP Christie-led administration squarely at the feet of its leader.
What really spiked his negative was when he introduced value-added tax and promised that it would be used to pay down the debt. It was not used to pay down the debt. The debt increased by $2 billion. And he was unable, and still is unable, to satisfy the Bahamian public about that value-added tax.
Now, Colley discussed a number of issues that the new government plans to tackle first, leading off with the economy.
Yes, the party is not repealing VAT, but the party is going to live up to its commitment to repeal certain aspects on VAT, those areas that affect the poor and the downtrodden and the average Bahamian, because it impacts on the national growth rate, the level of unemployment and crime, and so those will be top on the agenda.
Now, the F.N.M chairman also addressed the new government stance on national health insurance recently implemented by the former administration.
But the way we want to implement national health insurance is not the way the PLP has said about doing it. We need a nationwide health system, facilities, staffing, medicine, a seamless system, so there's a national health infrastructure.
And then there's Bahamar. On the campaign trail, the PLP charged that the minister-led government would sell the resort, but the party says this would not happen.
His order of business is to find out what are in those heads of agreements and what is sealed in the court. And when that is done, the government will come forward with a plan.
Now, following Monday's swearing in of cabinet ministers, a brief meeting will be held on Tuesday, and ministers of state and parliamentary secretaries will be sworn in early next week. Janaea Ferguson, ZNS Network News.